Forever Yorozuya. This is gonna be my review on Gintama the movie, Forever Yorozuya. Like, this movie is just such a fucking emotional as fuck, funny, brings you to tears, and then in the end makes you smile. Unlike the first movie, Gintama, like the movie or Benizakura-han, this one is an original story done by Sorachi Hideki, the creator, whilst the first movie was just a retelling of the Benizakura-han. This movie pretty much is like a typical Gintama arc. At first you see like Gintoki trolling like the movie stands like with a freaking camera guy trying to steal freaking like movie content. And pretty much the whole gist of the movie is that Gintoki gets skipped into 5 years later in the world, and pretty much that the he finds out that in this reality Gintoki himself has died, and that pretty much like he arrives in this reality where it's pretty much like Fist of the North Star style, and like how much Kagura and Shinpachi have changed, and pretty much everyone around him has changed because of his death. And it just shows a lot of deep meaning throughout this movie. I'm not going to go too much into spoilers territory with this movie because I think this is a movie that you need to watch. But this movie is definitely meant for Gintama hardcore fans, as you kind of understand a lot of the references made in the movie and sort of the stuff that they do talk about. Now, this movie mainly just focuses on like Gintoki's journey, just trying to realize this is what the world is going to end up being like in 5 years' time. And this movie does give a hint to where the series could potentially end, since I feel like most parts of the movie can show like what's going to happen later on throughout the series. But when you see like pretty much like how people deal with Gintoki dying in this like version of this world and show how people change, you see Shinpachi has just become cold and just like very collected, and he doesn't like let anyone into his dealings. Like, you also see Kagura has become a strong, independent woman. Like, it's very like weird to see like how people really try to deal over his death. And pretty much the whole plot of the movie is Gintoki trying to get back to his own time whilst trying to deal with the problems of the world, which is the white virus and the main baddie's enemy. Now, the enemy in this movie, pretty much like without, like I said, going into spoilers like previously, don't do too much in the movie. It felt like more it was about Gintoki's journey and still trying to give lessons to like to Shinpachi and Kagura like he originally does. And what I like about this is like it does give one of those messages like most Gintama arcs do, and it shows, you know, it shows how people change, and you know, even though it changes to the better or the worse, you have to like, you can't change what happens in the world. And it shows later on like with death, with some sad stuff happening, you know, as well with the huge revelation that goes out for the series. And this movie can definitely make you cry. There were tears going down my face throughout this whole movie, and it really got to me, sort of like the whole ending. And what I liked about it is that Gintoki shows you this message: yes, the future is a scary thing to think about, and most of the time we can't change it, but we can sure hell try. This movie really gets to the emotional strings halfway. The only issues with the movie is that the main baddies don't particularly take a huge role in the movie. Like I said, it's mainly about Gintoki's journey throughout this whole movie. Not to mention as well, there is a very slow-paced start to the movie. Like, if you guys are not too interested in like the whole like joke for going around throughout a series, then I do understand about that. But no matter how grim the future is, you can't change it, but you can sure as hell try, and that's what I really appreciate about this movie. And in the end of this, it was very emotional, and it shows you, you know, what can happen in the near future. Overall, I would give this movie an 8 out of 10. But just before I go, I just gotta say, the opening for this fucking movie, and as well showing opening 1 again, was fucking emotional and badass. I sure hope that they do more Gintama content throughout, like the anime wise, because they did say if this movie does well that they will do more Gintama movies. I think, even though it says final in the whole title, there's a reason for that. But that's all I can really say about the movie without you guys watching it. Definitely would recommend it to you guys, definitely for Gintama fans. But I gotta say, Gintoki, you are one of the badass persons I know in Shonen Jump history. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, Savagezweipanda, sign out, and I'll see you guys next time. Forever Yorozuya.